In-depth coverage of the top stories and breaking news when it happens. News Radio 1080 KRLD.
Great to have you here at 1050. I'm John Little, and a special treat, a new film dropping in Texas theaters this week, telling the story of Buck Reeves, the first African-American U.S. deputy marshal west of the Mississippi River. Isaiah Washington, the former Grey's Anatomy star, he stars as Buck Reeves, and it just so happens he directs the film as well. We're joined by Isaiah Washington now. What did you take out of being so involved in this film?
I wanted to be able to find a balance between introducing to the nation and to the world two incredible histories. One, the history of why Corsicana came to be and why we don't know about it. I wanted to make sure that when you say the word Corsicana, you know why it's important and why it's important to me. Corsicana, Texas. And also, when you say Bass Reeves, you know why it's important and why it's important to me. If it weren't for Bass Reeves and people like him, men and women, all ethnicities at the time during the Indian territory, there would be no state of Oklahoma. Over 3,000 arrests, federal arrests, as a deputy U.S. Marshal. He was not the first and only African-American. He was the best. He was the first to actually make 3,000 federal arrests, catching people in the Indian territory, which was, at that time, from what I'm explaining from R.T. Burton, the authority on Bass Reeves in the period, was worse than today's Chicago, Afghanistan, Iraq, cartel Mexico combined. Over 250 U.S. Marshals died, mostly Caucasian, trying to crack this criminal environment. The terrain was vicious, the people were vicious, and they were not playing with law enforcement.
And you get to direct, Isaiah, for the first time. Yeah, your directorial debut. What was that like?
I did not go to Corsicana thinking I was going to direct this movie. In fact, I never thought I would direct anything. I've worked with some great directors. Steven Soderbergh, Warren Beatty, Clint Eastwood, Spike Lee, numerous times. I go on, Michael Apted. I can go on. I got great classics, great TV directors, right? It's a lot of work. I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I could do what Spielberg or Martin Scorsese. These are gods to me, right? I'm like, I'm not that guy. But I discovered that because I love their films and the film language, that Warren Beatty told me, Clint Eastwood told me decades ago, is that you're not just an actor, kid. You need to direct. You need to write. And I was like, I'm not a writer. I love writers too much. I'm not a director. I love you guys too much. I can't do that. They were right. I'm glad I did it. And I'm looking forward to doing it again.
I mean, the way you talk with passion about this, it sounds like you put a lot of yourself into this movie.
I treat every opportunity, every deal, and every role as if it's going to be my last role in my lifetime, as if I'll never get a chance to do it. So I put my heart and soul in everything that I do because the people deserve that from me. The ticket sales, my brand is my vote. I don't get to stay in office if I don't produce, if I don't suspend your belief, not only in what you're watching creatively, but in me. This is my love letter to Corsicana and to Bass Reeves, and hopefully people will feel what I'm saying to you and feel my heart and my spirit, my soul, born and raised in Texas, on that screen.
That is Isaiah Washington, and Corsicana opens in select Texas theaters this week, and it was directed by Mr. Washington. He also stars in it as well as the character of Buck Reeves.